spend it all in one place, pay whatever bill you got to pay, and then you take the rest, you put up a little change because you know what's going on up there in Washington, and then you use the rest to entertain yourself on this calendar, from this calendar that we're going to show you right now. Well, not right now, but this morning. You will see where you can go on the community calendar to spend some of that change you may have left over after setting some aside and paying your bills. What do you say about that, dog?
Hey, sounds good to me. I just know now that I gonna have to put surveillance around your place.
Why is that?
Because you might just in fact be Daredevil trying to play it down. You know what I'm saying? I need to verify this. Okay.
Well, you can't see me. No?
Can't see me.
I'm undetectable to camera.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling me. I'm getting radar then. Something that catches spectrum anomalies or something. You know? Gotta do something, man. I can't have you running around all day like that. And plus, if I get into the news business, I want to be the first person to get a scoop.
No, man, my suit is a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see me when I come in.
Oh, okay. All right, Joe. One of the things that is a real pain in the butt these days is this thing called password. Okay.
Oh, tell me about it. Listen, I got so upset when they said, as you know, I work for UBI. They're planning to change to a 14-character password.
Oh my goodness!
I told them when they do that, I gonna quit.
Oh Lord, Elijah, don't be like that.
No, I mean it's bad enough you have to have a password for your banking account, password for your email account, password for this, password for that, password to get into your phone. I mean, everything nowadays is password. I mean, certain things you may have assistance with your phone if you have an iPhone, that you may have your what you call your wallet in your keychain activated that might assist you in entering into some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But it don't work with them things for UBI. You got to manually put in these things, so you have to manually remember all of these characters that they want you to remember all the time.
Yeah. Hey.
I need to walk.
It's the way of the world, brother. It's the way of the world.
I need to borrow Mr. Nib's tool and walk up in that IT office.
Well, let me tell you something about this world we're in, right? One of them southern states had an issue. Okay, shouldn't say the state have an issue. This enterprising gentleman went and set up cameras in conjunction with businesses,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense to me because a lot of things that are happening these days that whether it's violence, crime, or whatever, very often involves some establishment. It could involve a private home, but establishments for certain, you got a lot of different people coming through. It's good to have some type of security system set up.
Yeah.
Well, he's gone a step further where he has AI
Mm-hmm.
so that he can do facial recognition.
Uh-huh.
The problem was, it's always a problem, that he had an app made and he gave it to the police.
Uh-huh.
So if they're looking for people and they've recognized the thing gets a hit, so to speak, suggest that this is a high probability, this is so and so and so, who's wanted or whatever, so forth, so. And the police will act on it and jump on people and arrest them. Problem is AI isn't perfect.
Tell me about it.
And of course, AI very often gets it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I get enough people come up to me, hailing me up as somebody else. And I say, hey, listen, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect. And if you want to know the truth, AI is not perfect that, even out there trying to play your thing, I gonna disguise myself as dog today. Go and get yourself in trouble, and the next thing I know, I there in jail until Jerry died.
Me? No, no, no. I ain't that.
So,
But as you say that,
mhm,
you remember Facebook had a facial recognition kind of thing going on a few
mhm.
years ago. I think they turned it off now.
Yeah, because
Well,
the problem is privacy.
right. But I was saying that because, my daughter and I look alike. So whenever she would post a picture, they think that she posts a picture of me.
Hmm.
So I was like, what do you mean she posts a picture of me? So when I
She should have sued them.
take the
She's
picture,
pretty, she should have sued them.
hey, you notice my cane is not folded up, huh?
Oh my.
So I said, well, wait. I sent the picture to my sister. She's like, but that's your daughter. I said, but how this thing said she taking picture, posting picture of me? I want to know where she get picture from. So I used to laugh every time she posts a picture. 'Cause it would tell me she posts a picture of me.
Hmm.
But we look so much alike, we almost look like twins.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So I was like, yeah, that AI ain't walking right. Because I know my daughter ain't got no beard. You know what I mean?
My. I have a joke, but I gonna save it for off air. I don't want to get off the high road and possibly use your cane. And I have a joke, but anyhow, I'll save it. But anyhow, getting back to that
Me,
issue.
I would kindly give her your telephone number and have her deal with you.
Well, it might not have come down to her, but anyhow, and back to the serious note.
Mm.
The problem there is that the police were using an unofficial, unauthenticated process. Now, what does that mean? If I see something and I think the so and so do it, I could report that to the police,
Mm-hmm.
which is what the camera is doing, in a sense, right?
Yeah.
The police then supposed to go and investigate,
Mm-hmm. Correct.
not act on it. You follow me?
Yeah, but you getting that work to do.
But this the work to sign up for. You see, otherwise that thin line with the privacy thing, because now private people in the business of protecting their establishments or farming a business watch, business neighborhood watch type of thing. That's one thing. You could report suspected crime, but the bottom line is with this misidentification thing, you cannot be going out there and acting on these things, because then you create a privacy / wrongful arrest / liability money issues when it's so easy to do what you've been trained to do, which is to investigate. No, what I'm saying investigate meaning that if you get a ping that this person might be the person that you're looking for, you could go down there and verify. You don't speed up there, pull up, jump out the car, put a man down on the ground, woman down on the ground, handcuff them and all. So that's ultimately where it leads to, because, all these policemen fearing for their life. Right, so it's only logical that they're going to act with concern for their life. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. I'm being very serious when I say that. Okay, not making fun of because this thing is sometimes gets out of control. The stupidity that happens. Gerard, if you standing by the side of my car as a police, and rather than comply with you for some reason or whatever, that because you haven't said you're under arrest, you're detained, this, that, and the other, and the policeman said you try to use the vehicle as a weapon and they pull out their gun and fire a shot. Now you driving away from them. Okay, you have another case where the guy jump on the hood and put the gun in the windshield and bust 3-shot, kill the man. And we're talking about, in those cases, simple traffic stop, nothing, no murder on the loose, Nobody just get killed and the person trying to escape. No, nothing like that. Anyhow, you see, the challenge with what I'm saying, though, is that police work is dangerous work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to in any way marginalize that. It's dangerous work.
Any type of law enforcement.
Right. But you have to err on the side of caution in terms of you can be wrong, and if you are wrong and you don't kill somebody, you can't press reset and bring them back.
Nope.
Okay, so anyhow, I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen in that case. I believe it's down in Florida. The airman came to his door. He had his gun with his hand down on his side and whatever, and the policeman just burst shot and him kill him. You know, because the thing there is, your home is your castle. You come and knock on my door, okay, I'm entitled to be whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, that's a whole another story. I don't want to belabor that. Just it's a fine line to cross. It's just like the whole concept of disabling the threat. Yeah. Basically, disabling the threat these days now is killing you. You know, if you got a screwdriver in your hand, they shooting you through your heart. No, basically that's what they taught to do. You are an armed person, that's what they taught to do. Okay? You got a screwdriver and you there nowhere close to me, and you pulling out your gun and shooting me through the heart. I mean, at some point in time, it gotta make sense. And that things like that just don't make sense. But that's another issue.
He was trained to shoot Santa Mas.
But I understand that. But Santa Mas is through the heart.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so shoot to kill. Just call it what it is. Shoot to kill. And the
I was trying to stay on the high road.
Huh?
I was trying to stay on the high road.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's shoot to kill. But the bottom line is protecting and serving, protecting, serve, and kill. Okay? Anyhow, I know those who may feel how they might want to feel about law enforcement and so forth. We're not enemies. We just have to make sure that it's really and truly looking out for the benefit of the entire community, because it could be your child, it could be your spouse, it could be whoever. You just don't know. Anyhow, want to change gears here on that, right? You know, they have this acronym out there, since they're using acronym CYA this morning, right? You have one called FAFO.
You know, I was about to say, actually, that what you're going to use now.
Well, you know, me, I can't say certain words because my mother jump on a plane and come down and or worse yet, she call Mr. Names and give him permission to correct her child.
She got to do all of that. All she got to do is call me.
He might use excessive force, just like you.
She got to do all of that. All she got to do is call Mr. Evelyn.
But the problem is, she don't know that you might exercise excessive force. You know, and that's the thing I'm concerned about.
Just trust me. When I done, you won't use that language again.
Anyhow, I know a whole lot of people faffling. Okay? They faffling. That's the best way I could put it, right?
Well,
but let me finish my point. Vaccinations in Texas for measles have spiked. Take off. Gone running. Okay? Now, measles vaccination, they're wrong for donkey years. And as long as they're wrong, it appears that there ain't no measles around. But now we over 1,000 cases of measles across 24 states. Right? And I say that it's not about pro-vaccine or anti-vaccine. It's just like a car that running good all the time. Yeah, it could get out of tune, this could happen, so forth and so on. Right? But things that are work don't just stop working, figuratively speaking. Okay, you don't just stop working. So there's something to it. You want to do your genetic testing and everything else and be cautious, that's fine. But we got over 1,000 cases of measles. Okay, this is a historical thing across 24 states. And the thing is spreading. And this is something that otherwise was under control. Now, if someone could show and prove side effects and all that's fine, and we do what we have to do. But when a parent says, I don't want my child reading these books, why should all the other parents be bound by what that one parent doesn't want? Okay? In this case, we ain't talking about the parent. We're talking about the headmaster, the commissioner of education, whatever. On that level now, we have someone in charge of Health and Human Services. Okay, CDC, NIH, all of these other people. We got people in charge of these things that have an opinion, a non-science based opinion that's driving these things. So I am just mentioning it. I thought it was interesting that people are beginning to pick up on things and realize that somebody don't have to tell you what to do. If you know what to do that's right for you, then do what's right for you, and your children.
You know Charlotte O'Hare?
Hmm?
You know Charlotte O'Hare?
From the seaplane? Oh,
No.
Charlotte O'Hare.
She was the one that took education to court to get prayer out of the schools.
Mm-hmm.
And won.
Mm-hmm.
One parent.
Yeah, well, you see, but I don't have a problem with that case. I don't have a problem with that case. The Supreme Court did not say you can't have prayer in school. It just can't be institutional-led prayer in school. You follow me? The school itself is not a church. I don't mean the physical facility. I mean as an institution. Okay?
Right.
This is why there's the pushback. If you and some students believe in God and believe in the Quran, and at 12 o'clock y'all want to do this, so forth and so on, that's your religion, and they can't interfere with the practice of your religion to the extent that it's not damaging / harmful, whatever, to other people. You follow me? So this is where common sense comes in. Now, if you're going to say that America is a Christian nation and should abide by Christian principles, there are a lot of Christian principles out there that would, if we follow them, going to lead to violence against people, like planting mixed crops is a right to stone the farmer them to death. You know, I mean, serious.
No, you're right.
You go back in there and you read these things, and these people who come in as what I call fanatics, that say you must follow it word for word. And when people realize, well, word to word, well, we want in that, it's too late, you don't get stoned.
We didn't mean it like that.
You know.
After the fact.
Right, okay? But the fact of the matter is, if you don't like how the farmer to plant his field, you could talk about it, pong melee, whatever you want to do. Get on social media these days. We got a call coming in here, okay? But you can't be going over there and messing with these people physically or otherwise. Good morning, WSTX.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me say first off, ye who is of no sin, cast the first stone. Now,
well,
I
hey, wait. I can't let you get away with that one. Okay?
Go ahead.
It got millions of people out there with no sin. Okay?
Okay.
And they looking down at you because you got yours. All right?
Oh.
So
Okay.
you encouraging people to start throwing stone left and right.
I just quote in the Bible. That's
And
all I do.
anyhow,
Now listen.
watch when I reach
I
the
ha-
church and the door barred. Okay.
okay. I just happen to be looking today on my computer while I'm on the phone talking to you, and I see Gerald got a patch on his chest. What is he now, a lieutenant colonel in Trump's army?
Well, I know you rank, but I definitely know nothing about the association now. You know,
Okay.
we might have the battle of the devices if you keep this up.
Gerald, speak
I'm
for
a
yourself.
I'm a lieutenant colonel in Leah Motley's army.
Good. That's the kind of army I want. No, since you
You
say
know
that,
who's Leah Motley, right?
yeah, of course I know the Barbadian lady.
Okay, well, I's a part Bajan, so that's why I said I's a
You're
lieutenant.
Fort Bragg, you're
Yeah,
Fort
I's part
Bragg,
Bajan. My father was a Bajan. He was
Okay.
from Christchurch, Barbados.
Yeah, but let me ask you, you ever heard your father say, God blind you?
All the time.
Okay. Now, let me give you a little quick thing on God blind you. I used to work in a hotel many times, the only Virgin Islander, this is back in the 60s, 70s, guys from Barbados, Nevis, St. Kitts, Antigua, Tortola at the second amount. Now, they were telling me about this guy that, a Bajan guy, that used to always say, God blind me. Oh, God blind you. He ate some food, fully belly with the food, and went under a tree and said, oh, my belly full, no, God blind me. With that, a strike of lightning came and blind him. So what you think he said to God? Jesus Christ, God, I mean a man can't make a joke, God blind him.
I gonna put you on Saturday Night Live or something.
Well, it might be better to put bed Saturday night dead. You know, a lot of people say to me, I just stand up comic. No. Most of the times I'm sitting down. In this particular time, I'm laying across my bed. So, stand up.
So it ain't just me then. Okay. You got a reputation.
Right. Anyway, I'm going to go and come back. I need to ask you something. See how good your memory was when you was in legislature. I'll come back. Thank you.
All right. Good thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good thing. Yeah. Yeah, man. So all kinds of interesting things happening out there. For real. So we have to be aware of our circumstances and what's going on around us and in our community. Anyhow, I meant to answer Jared because I know you got a hookup and you know, custom to being a high grass and thing, right? Okay. So what portion of that Garvey band money going to Vitran Plus, man? You know, I got to take you in the legislature and put you in the well to testify to get this answer them out of you or what?
You really asking me that question?
Well, I ain't asking you the question. I just tell you what came to my mind when I heard about the Garvey bands.
Okay, if they get in, imagine if they get in monies.
Because it's for transportation and
for buses and things. And they can't buy bus up to now. They getting monies for buses and to hire.
Okay.
They can't hire up to now. Right now they have 2 buses on the fixed road. One on Center Line and one walking from the terminal to Tide Village. You know, terminal to Tide Village via north side through Princess. Okay, the one that going through Calcahoon have not been running for months. Okay?
Yeah.
Nobody on that route making noise, nobody ain't saying nothing.
And you know because they just have given up. This is the thing. It has become business as usual for it not to be there. So they making plans, friend coming picking them up, whatever. They making other plans. I'm just telling it like it is.
I mean, yeah, I have a client that whenever he have to come to me at the job, either my boss have to go get him, or go pick up his phone, bring the phone back to bring the phone back to the job. I fix his phone and take it back.
Yeah.
Right, but it's right now we down to like 3 buses
Mm-hmm.
because we were running on 4 and one got in a bad accident that it might be total. The airbags and thing deployed.
Usually that's
So we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, I hear you. I'm just telling you that when I saw the headlines, they brag big about the money. Let's see what will happen with the money.
But they had a thing that said her passed on Facebook about they was supposed to have some transportation plan for St. Croix or something going on.
Hey brother, you did a plan for us all the time and don't tell us nothing. So
no, it was on Facebook, but the time it was happening was when the bus ain't running.
Right. This is exactly.
So
it was never. That's just the rules, Gerard. EPA had a meeting down here, and I had to write them up about it because when they did the meeting, okay, and announce it and everything else, nobody was there to attend because nobody knew about it. Okay, but we have to be vigilant like that. Anyhow, we got a call on line 2.
Yeah.
Good morning, WSTX Reflections.
Yeah, just quickly, Dougie, something that you said that caused me to come back right away. This Garvey ban thing, I was reading it there in the and I only get to the half of the first paragraph because what caused me to stop reading any further is the thing about a subsidiary of the PFA named Transportation something. You know of that?
No, I don't know of it that way.
But have you seen that?
I also don't get $1,000 every time they have a meeting.
Okay, go ahead. I go follow up. Go ahead.
I just put in a disclaimer. That's all.
Okay, good. So now that you're gone, I come in putting full. Now, the question that I sent out in a blog is, when and how did this, whatever it is, became a subsidiary of the PFA? And I also went on to ask 2 more questions. One, is this then the special purpose vehicle, the SPV? And does the PFA also get $100 per meeting like Wyco? And is Roosevelt Davis also at the PFA? Then he gets $3,000 a month. I got struck close.
Brother,
I need to get on them board, man.
I ain't begrudging nobody, Tomorrow you might see me on them board too. And and all I gonna do is be transparent and make sure that,
Get on them board,
the public know.
Yeah. Mr. Nibs.
But you see, them board is a board Albert and the governor and them need to go put and the people them rough. Board. 2x4 rotten board.
Well, Mr. Nibs.
Yes, sir.
How to apply to get on them board, Mr. Because they always want me to get on some board, but I never getting paid.
Well, let me tell you what the recipe is for that. You have to be a dominant Democrat.
A dominant Democrat?
Very dominant and loyal to the party.
Okay, well, I will never be on the board then.
Well, I was, because I ICF. I got.
All right.
Okay.
Good thing. Good thing. Any old how. we're moving right along. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, folks, one of the things that from the time of the inception of this program, I did not want us to be into complaining. You know, I just didn't want to be like, there are those shows you can turn on your radio and after a week you don't want to even go back again because it's the same people, you know, and the same issues and so forth and so on. And unfortunately, no action. Because I don't have a problem with people complaining when they put together some type of action and go out and do something, right? Mm-hmm. Then you can, you know, complain or discuss challenges, however you want to put it, right? Mm-hmm. You know, it just have to have some type of an action component in it, all right? Well, it's about 10 minutes to the hour of 9, folks, and I just want to just do a quick speed through of some of what is on the community calendar, because heaven knows this a rough weekend, and I say that every weekend probably is rough, depending for those who suffer from loneliness, too many parents and grandparents. All of a sudden, people don't have time. All right, and then when you find out that they leave everything to the caregiver, then you want to be upset.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, that'll happen. It sure enough does. Okay, so you know, every weekend has a challenge for someone in some way, and every weekend have things going on. Like for instance, if I'm mistaken, a certain walkabout person tell me about how it got third Friday in West, you know, got entertainment down there and the waterfront and thing. So yeah, you know, it don't start already on Friday. Then I also know Friday you got Caribbean Community Theaters having their 40th anniversary show, and that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right. Friday and Saturday is the 8 o'clock show, and Sunday is the 4 o'clock show. Then yours truly have a graduation to attend. Gone too fast. Let's stick with Friday, okay? Because my classmate Camille Williams is being laid to rest on Friday, and you know, the circle of life, but that doesn't mean that it's not shocking and disturbing and otherwise. But I am so thankful for the opportunity to have known him and interacted with him, and otherwise gotten the benefit of his company, class events or otherwise when we just meet up by the church or on the road. Okay, so yes, now I'll talk about Saturday. Saturday is graduation. Saturday is Relay for Life, going over into Sunday, and I already mentioned that the final showing of the 40th anniversary show for Caribbean Community Theater is going to be on the Sunday. Okay, now I have this this issue. Unlike Gerard, I'll be there come Monday. If I was still in the walking business, I'd have take my shower, get dressed, and getting ready to go to work. Because some of us out there don't understand things like holidays. We just get up and I must have work to do, so we go and work. So from Friday, you're telling people, okay, I'll check you on Monday when whatever, and they're telling you won't be there by yourself. So even with that reminder, you still forget. So what's the big deal with this coming Monday, Gerard? You good with me on that?
Monday?
Yeah.
This coming Monday?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
You don't know?
What's the big deal with it?
Okay, I thought something was going on Monday, but if you said nothing ain't going on, then nothing ain't going on. Okay. What I gonna do? You know? Monday is the 26th.
Yeah.
Monday is Memorial Day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Mm-hmm. All right, and I say that I just catch you off guard. I know that, but the reality is that
So
it's
you-
Memorial Day.
So you're
It's,
barbecuing?
I didn't have any plans. I'm probably gonna be doing walk around the yard. Either that or working on some of these documentaries, video documentaries that I've been caught up in recently, or some combination of those two more than likely. Okay, but it's Memorial Day, and it's a very important and solemn day because it's a day that we pay homage to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our country, as well as to think about anyone near and dear who has served and is no longer with us, and definitely also always recognizing those who serve and are with us. All right, we got another caller here on line 2. Let me see. It got a saying 3 strikes and you're out. You know about that one?
Yeah. But
Okay.
I don't say the first 2 cars are free.
The first 2 cars are free. All right,
Yeah.
good thing.
After that is 99 cents a minute.
WSTX 99 cents a minute.
Yeah.
Or?
Yes, quickly, since I only make 50 cents for calling talk show, not 1500, 50 cents. Please allow me to do me work.
Okay, no problem. But I just need to know if you have PayPal or
Okay.
something. We could set it up so it's automatic pay.
Yeah, we take
Yes, exactly.
yeah, I take PayPal, Zelle, and ATH.
PayPal and all them kind of things.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
Apple Pay too.
carry up the John.
Apple Pay too.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Yeah.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I don't want you to forget your train of thought.
Nobody won't forget. I see whereas Mr. Evelyn is respecting the aging process, while you are not, or is not, I don't know. His head has become bald, like mine, with a few sprigadines of locks busting out the back of my head. Your head and face, doggy, still got a lot of hair on it. But they got too much black in them. You're supposed to be lily white like I and I. Lily white.
Well,
Enjoy.
if I ain't careful,
Well-
I might end up losing it all. So
Well, I'm
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Yeah, okay.
My white is hereditary.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad he had a gray beard from the age of 36.
Okay.
So
Well-
mine started in my early 40s.
Okay.
So now it have more salt than pepper now in it.
But let me tell you, it's all hereditary, and I'm glad you went there because my mom told me she became white, not gray, at the age of 16. At the age of 19, I started with the salt and pepper. But since I don't like salt, I took some bleach and bleached my hair. So the whole thing was white at 25. Bears, I got a thick white beard on my face that Santa Claus did call me. You see?
Well,
But people just, seriously, a lot of people say, how come you die? You die what hair? Die, you say, you know? Me, I want to die in it. I don't put no kind of grease or nothing in it. I just take a big comb and rake through it.
Well, I just try to keep my Santa Claus beard to a minimum.
Oh, okay, no. I
Yes.
let go.
No,
One
because
time it
if
was
it,
hard on my chest.
well, if I let it go, it will get out of hand.
Well, as long as they don't get out the foot.
Well, it might reach my foot, so that's what I say.
Now, Dougie, quickly let me ask about the legislature. When you were in the legislature,
Oh, Lord, man. When you want to harass me with
I mean, I just will tell the truth. I know you will tell the truth. What
The
was
truth is, he
your
forget.
salary? What was the salary of a legislator at that time?
when I was in there,
Yeah,
it was 60. When I was there, it was 65.
was 65.
Yeah.
Good. And I know you're going to be more truthful. Tell me who in there now that's doing more work than the ladies and men that was in there and only making 65, whereas they are 85 going to 110. For what?
Well,
I mean, don't be afraid.
well, I'm gonna tell you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The job was 65, but the work easily was 85. I don't have a
Okay.
problem with 85 if you're doing the work,
Thank you.
but I don't see the work being done.
Good.
I see a lot of grandstanding going on. You know, and
Uh-huh.
I go. You know, the other day, you heard this grumbling about this EDC benefits company and jobs that were eliminated and went down to Guyana or wherever,
Oh,
and jobs that were terminated here and so forth and so on, right?
yeah.
You know, I don't get caught up in that type of attack, and it's unfortunate that they're getting the public riled up, because you have to put things in the proper perspective up front. When you give out EDC benefits, you in essence enter into a contract with somebody, and
Right.
you who give out the benefits have the handle. They ain't even got a good hole on the blade. You have the handle. Okay,
You mean supposed to have the handle?
well, yes, and that's
Okay.
a competence issue and a vision issue. Okay, because when you write up that contract in such a way that allows them to do this, because these companies in their right mind are not going to open themselves up to liability by taking those type of steps if it's something outside the scope of the contract. Okay, so these people running for cover now, okay, because they didn't use Charmin and they don't want people to see the white pieces of paper there because they use a cheap brand.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so that's what I heard going on there. And while we at it, okay, they come up with a commission. The legislature decouple. That man grumbling all now, you know, because them man in the administration getting days. Okay, anyhow, so they decouple and they ain't get days, right? But not
Okay.
only that, you had this correspondence as to what the findings were of the commission that authorized the raises to go through.
You mean the compensation package?
Right, and what I'm saying here is that in our courts today, if you submit your brief as a PDF,
Uh-huh.
it is the same as bringing in paper with writing on it.
Yeah, sure.
It's official. So it is amazing how it just died down because everybody was claiming they didn't get proper notice, they didn't get this to be able to resign. I mean, it's a game that's being played.
Well,
Okay.
you know, Dougie, and I'm glad I bring it up because the public ought to know. I mean, how in the name of Jesus could any one of those senators say truthfully with their hand on the Bible that they did not this and this, when in fact they were part of the write-up?
Well, you know, I gonna tell you, things has happened a certain way sometimes, I remember when the legislature had went and buy all of these Chevy SUVs.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't get one. I wasn't driving one, but I get all the costs.
Well, at least I wasn't the executive director then. They just fling me out.
Oh, I'm just getting ready to transfer some of the cost to you, but I'll hold off on that. No, I'm just saying that just because something has been transmitted to the legislature does not mean that all members are made aware in a timely manner.
Well, true too.
Okay,
True
so
too.
I believe in being fair. Me want be beating up and slapping up nobody just because of a whim or something or whatever. Like Jared, I gotta hold him back and keep him on the high road.
Right, but like you see, sometimes when I paint, it's not necessarily that I'm painting with a broad brush, because I know that them one know they're guilty. Would know who they are. I wouldn't have to call them names. They know.
Right.
You see?
I hear you. I hear you. It just that
the time is fast spent.
Right, but what I'm saying,
the first branch of government have to act and behave as if they are the first branch, irrespective of the fact that they are dominant Democrats.
But
should not allow themselves to be.
I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you.
By the governor.
I'm sorry to tell you that some of them afraid, and it ain't just about being about one-on-one with the governor. I think that is very much overplayed. We have people in there who does consult other people in there about how to move.
True.
Because they're there, but they don't have the there in their head to be able to navigate.
Yeah.
And the challenge there is that very often they don't realize that they're being played and used and to be discarded.
Right.
Okay.
But then what I heard what you say, but let me just finish with this, Dougie.
Okay, go ahead.
When you use the term afraid, the only thing I see that they are afraid of is getting re-elected over and over and over and over and over. So they're counting numbers and they're straddling the fence and which way the wind blow. I
hear you. All right, take care.
Right.
Okay. Well, the reality is you can be in an institution like the legislature and be effective and productive and not get reelected. That's the reality. If you go into it with the idea of it becoming a long-term job, you're in it for the wrong way. Yes, you have to focus on the things that the people want, but sometimes the people are fickle, even though they get what they want. That's the reality. So anyhow, been there, done that, know all about it, and got lots of good memories. So the people. Okay, we get good Don in here. Hey Don, how you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Dog, and your partner there. How you guys doing?
Good morning. Good morning, sir. We're doing well, thank you.
Oh, you're doing well. How about the country? How the country doing?
Well, a lot of them FAFO and a lot of them going along. I mean, Don Felipe, Don Felipe.
Yes, sir.
We in a country now that used to have a agency that if the phone companies put a illegal $1 charge on you because they have 150 million clients and every month they make $150 million off of that charge. Okay, you, the little man, couldn't go up against the big company because they had the money for the lawyers and everything else. You just trying to make it. But we had a department that would take on these things and make sure they refund the money and everything else because what they did was illegal. And that has been deconstructed, dismantled. Okay. And so
that's not the consumer department.
Consumer financial something, whatever.
Okay, that's some kind of big name.
Right, but yeah, but I'm just saying. I seen too much of that type of thing going on. That's my concern. So if that would be the measure,
Okay.
then the country ain't running good.
Okay. Listen to me now. You're going to the bar today.
To the what?
The government bar. They say Governor Brian have a bar for retirees.
Me know
You
nothing
know,
about that. Me know
I
nothing about
just,
that.
I just say that Mr. Williams radio.
Okay, well I don't know nothing about that. Okay,
Because
maybe it's in St. Thomas, but me know nothing about no ball.
all right then, I just continue listening because I want them to go have the ball and then start giving a retro check today or what the deal is, because I coming up next week for my retro. I mean next month.
I hear you. I hear you. I don't think I'm in the target group for that, but that's neither here nor there. For those who it's owed to, I'm happy to see them get what they're owed. The same thing with any other contracts. I would like to see less of people doing desk audits to change people's job descriptions so they could get a raise, but yet denying the unions negotiation and contracts so that they could also get a well-deserved raise.
But this from 95 waiting for my little itch and my little tittin.
But this is what I'm
And
saying.
instead of getting interest, I'm being taxed too from 94, bro.
Brother,
How much man don't get up King Hill and in collect, sir?
but what needs to be done is a survey across the government for all director and manager jobs where they do a chart of the respective salaries over the past 20 years. When you do that and you share that with the public, I tell you what, something different gonna happen in the next November.
But listen, wait, I'm glad you come up to the point. Wait. But dog, if we don't go back to paper ballot, ain't nothing gonna change until Columbus come back, dog. You know that and I know that. We have to go back to paper ballot. And I bet you a lot of that is gonna clean out. You know it too.
Well,
your partner know it.
we have a bigger problem, which is voter turnout. I think that's a bigger problem that we're having.
Yeah, okay.
Too many people are discouraged from participating, and too many people are discouraging themselves. For instance, I sure you hear people say, "Well, me voting can't go make a difference." Well, if you got 10 people,
that's why I got you lost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dog, that's why people feel that way, because they see the electronic voting machine. It just replaces the same people over and over. I myself feel that way too. I was up there with them last time to vote. Listen, their last election on the Dominican Republic, okay? It was over 8 million people voted with paper ballot. Listen to me good, eh? And by 10 o'clock that night, they don't have the count and the winners because they had their poll watchers. 4 different parties was running for presidency and Congress, And you're going to tell me we just get a handful of people in the VI? How much of them are voting St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix?
well,
That's why a lot of people turn away.
let me give you what I think is the best of both worlds, right? A paper ballot that's designed in a way that you can do a tally to get a preliminary result, okay? And then the hand count portion continues so that you don't have to worry about the time constraints that night, even if it have to be the next morning or the next afternoon. I'm just saying it's possible to do it. All you have to have is the will to do it that way, because the machine, right now you got a paper ballot and you put it in a machine and the machine scans the ballot.
Okay, and another thing to do, not to cut you off, but these make a little expensive. And another thing to see is the Latria computer crashed the other day.
It wasn't crashed, it was hacked.
Yeah, the Latria machine, the computer that's supposed to be calling out the window. Don't you, my opinion, don't you think somebody there went in to that computer there to try to fix for somebody that they're known to win, and the thing crashed? What happened to the good old days with the big ball rolling? When I was growing up in St. Thomas, you understand, that 3-day drive, you go down Main Street, you get school children in there calling out the numbers at that big ball rolling. Okay? And you never had to have nothing but rollover. You know? Anyway, dog, that's my 2 cents. I hope to be up there next month to hope my rich will reach by then, my son.
All right.
Thanks, John, and continue listening.
Good. You take care.
All right.
All right. Yes, sir.
I don't get it. You know, they say we're using a machine,
Mm-hmm.
but we're using a paper ballot.
Yes.
We're just taking the paper ballot and stick it in the tabulator for the count,
Right.
and then it goes into a lockbox. So if there's any dispute, they can hand count it to make sure nothing was disturbed.
Right. No, I hear you 1,000%. There are those who just don't like the fact that there is a machine involved in any way, and that's unfortunate because
Line 2.
I'm coming to it. The paper is there, as you said, as the backup, but there's something deeper going on, and I think that part of it too is this commiserating thing, because there's some things that I heard statements being made and everything else, and people will make statements but they don't know, and they hear somebody say and they repeating what somebody say and so forth. But that's the age we live in now. Anyhow, let me get to line 2. Good morning, WSTX.
Yeah, Dougie, just quickly again, and this is what I like about talk radio, because it engenders discussion and collaboration. How I doesn't write anything down. I listen to other callers and I join in on their conversation. And at this particular point in time, I'm joining with the Crucian fella that lives now in Santo Domingo and hablo mucho español, oíste. Yes.
Sí,
So-
yo también.
Okay, yo también, sí, cómo no. The thing is this. Let's go to the lottery thing first. Doug, I was one of the biggest critics of the lottery system. That's before Raymond come there. He just reached. This was way back. But in 2007 to 2009, I became more vociferously against this rollover and balls and whoever balls. Okay? So what do you think happened? I won. Yes, I won the grand prize. And what the latest was to pacify me and shut me.
Somebody rigged the system for you?
Huh?
Somebody rigged the system for you?
No. Well, yes. Okay. You're right. They rigged it so I could win, so shut me up. But that's where they went wrong. Because I heard you say, correcting my partner, tell them it wasn't no scam or rig or this. It was a hack. Hack my behind. Hack what? Everything today in any electronic and this worldwide KRPP crap is that we got a cyber attack. Cyber,
Well, I would like to know. I would like to know if there was a final disposition as to the $2 million that WAPA went and put in somebody else's account. Okay.
Well, why didn't put half of that in mine?
No. Well, I don't know, Mr. Nibbs. You maybe you hadn't renewed your membership in the organization. Okay. But anyhow, I'm just saying, these things are happening and then they just kind of disappear. People need to know what the final disposition is. If the money is totally unrecouped and you have no further leads, then at least we need to know that's what's right there. Don't leave it there quiet like, investigation is ongoing and there is no ongoing investigation.
Oh, nonsense. But you see, quickly, and I mean, as you said that, it brings to mind the terror that went through me yesterday. I think it was when I got a call of what happened on St. Thomas with this past lover, past boyfriend or current, I don't know, killing his lady and driving her to the bathroom and pitching her out the car there. And that's, she's supposed to get up from there and go get help. I mean, these things, what have we come to, Doggy? We black people of the Virgin Islands and the Caribbean. How did we come to this?
Well,
Who taught us these kind of things? Who tell us this is the way?
I gonna tell you, it ain't just us.
Oh, well, okay.
It's an illness across the board.
Yeah, but you see, Doug, you're talking about us.
Well, brother,
Other people.
there's certain things that we brought. I remember having cap gun and playing cowboy and Indians, pow, and whatever, saving up your little pennies so you could go down to the store and buy the replacement cap, them and thing. But we weren't killing each other as we grew
Well, you
up.
used to throw on yourself and say, I'm dead.
Yeah, that too. Okay, but I'm just saying something has changed.
Okay.
Something has changed, but it has more to do with our society and how we live as a community that has changed. We don't have children who are inherently violent. Okay? But we have parents who tell their children, if somebody knock you, knock them back. In other words, you can't be perpetuating a cycle of ongoing violence and no conflict resolution and then get out there and bemoan the fact that we're killing each other.
Yeah, but Dougie, we have to be careful that, you know why? A bully becomes more bullier when he kick you and slap you and thump you. You're a punk and you ain't doing nothing until you drive something and he ain't gonna stop. You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, and what I hear is a generational divide in what you're saying also. Okay? Because generationally, back in your day, okay?
Yeah.
You ain't had access to nobody gun to go shoot nobody. You ain't had access to a gun, period, to go and shoot people.
Well, true.
And so I hear what you're saying, and that used to work back then.
All right.
Okay, you had a little fisticuffs and whatever, and next year back playing marble and cowboy and Indian and everything, like nothing happened.
Exactly.
But that's not what's going on now. The world has changed in terms of the thing. You look at the movies and everything else that these children make a note. Fortnite. Have you ever seen the game of Fortnite played?
Yeah.
No, I have not. But
Well, I want you to make it a point. Connect with your younger loved ones. And if any of them play it or they know someone, I would like you to have it demonstrated for you to understand. Okay, please. Okay, I'm asking you because one of the problems is generationally, if you don't see how children are being conditioned, programmed, and otherwise indoctrinated into a certain way of life, if you don't see it for yourself, it's easy to sit back in the stands and comment on something. You need to see it.
Yeah, okay. But Dougie, I agree. But tell me, because I wouldn't say former lawmaker, as a lawmaker as you are, don't you think America should ban those kind of things, but they encourages it?
Well,
it's a money-making thing.
But
okay.
Sir,
so once the more money we get, to hell with the debt.
Okay.
That's what we say.
Let me give you an like you said, money. Let me talk about something real quick here. Okay, thalidomide is a drug, a chemical that was used many decades ago, all right, by women who were pregnant. Okay, And these women had children that instead of having hands and arms, they had flippers. Okay? The drug was banned. Right? Now, however, they have discovered that the drug is very effective in dealing with certain cancers.
Exactly.
And now they have the wisdom to know that this is not something you give to people who thinking about having children or this, that, and the other, so forth and so on. So
Right.
now that drug used to cost, let's say, I can just use numbers, $5 a pill.
Okay.
How did it get to $1,000 and rising a pill?
And it gonna go higher.
No, but what I'm saying now is you're talking about America, okay? Because these things are very unique to America. They're using the same drug in other countries, but it's not $1,000 a pill. Now,
Right.
in our system, the people who make that and what's the other one? Insulin, and the other one for preventing infections. The bottom line is these companies increase the price not because it costs more to make it, but just because they can, as a fundraising means to get more money to the shareholders, and the persons who are in charge get a bonus. The executive directors, CEOs of these companies, they get a millions of dollars bonus
True.
for making the price go up.
Yes.
Okay.
Stick up in right there and let
So,
me slide in.
But no. Let me finish my point. My point
Okay, go
is that America, for good, bad, or otherwise, is driven by money beyond sense, beyond concern for the overall health and welfare of the community, the country. And witness what's happening now in Congress, where they come up with all these shenanigans that basically going to kick people off of healthcare, get rid of things like WIC and Head Start, things that have a very positive overall impact for the country and its trajectory into the future. As long as those billionaires get their hit right now, they don't care about those things. So I say that now, not to get on a soapbox, but just to say that things have changed. Once upon a time, healthcare was driven by service and the benefits to the greater community and economy.
It's still supposed to be that way by the oath of Hippocrates.
No, but you see, Ronald Reagan way back when changed the law with regards to that.
Okay. But we allow it to change it.
But too many people benefit, and this is the problem. You got too many people. When you talk about Congress, these people are you go in there making $75,000 in a job, and next thing you know, when you decide to leave 10 years, 15 years, you a billionaire 20 times over. Not a billionaire, but a millionaire 20 times over, and you want to know how did they get the money?
Right. That's why I want to slide in and finish.
Okay, go ahead.
You're right at the point where I need to inject.
Right.
The things you have said, it's so true. And to me, it points out how simple minds like yours, Evelyn's, and mine sees and knows these things and can speak out, and then while others put muffler on them. Now, what came back to mind as we talking about everyone at the big shot and want to make more dollars? I must go back to Cyril King's words. Progress for whom and at what cost? I also must go back to the House of Representatives, where I worked with two other congressmen or three besides the one from the Virgin Islands. So I know the game. You talk about a drug that was helping people and could have helped more and saved more lives, but then a friend of a congressman get mad because that created my mind drug. They're making no more money now because he come up with this. So he passed 2 cents under the table, and the 2 cents become $2 billion to share.
Yeah.
So the stage where they go drugs and come with his stupid drugs.
Well,
These things they ain't gonna stop unless we, the people, stop them. Is my point.
well,
Thank
let
you.
me in closing here, let me just share something else with you, because you know you're
Okay.
hearing about this thing called AI, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, the reality is that you have this thing called Medicare Advantage, which some
Yes.
people are calling Medicare Disadvantage.
I was about to say that.
And I deliberately did not sign up for Medicare Advantage, because every time it's time to redo Medicare stuff, they always promising, oh, you get this and you get that and you get the other and you get the other, so
Yep.
forth and so on, as though you'll get it for free.
Oh, okay.
And you don't. But what also happens is that Medicare Advantage, it seems, is very aggressive at denying coverage.
Uh-huh.
So now they have AI who is suggesting what to do, and they have a plan. You
Right.
you challenge it, it get turned over. It come up again now. You challenge it, it get turned over. By the third time, it's final. All right.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
you have a situation here where a person is in a hospital, and normally discharge is, let's say, within a week.
Yeah.
But this person have conditions that the doctors all agree it would be dangerous for the person's health for them to be discharged. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
United Healthcare agrees. And then a week later, decline coverage.
Oh.
Okay? Now I saw that and I said to myself, you know, I don't want to see nobody killing nobody the way that dude went and killed off the CEO for that company. Okay?
All right.
I 'cause that's like cancer. It spreads, and innocent people start getting caught up in this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you keep doing stupidness like this, it's just a matter of time somebody gonna flip out and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Because when common sense, medical sense, and analysis says that you are declining coverage for somebody who clearly is deserving under the terms of their insurance.
Of course.
You know, that's a
See, but
racket.
that is- Right, but Daddy, let me say this and go quickly. Because
Mhm.
if you keep talking, you keep putting words in my head. No, seriously.
All right, I'm done.
Seriously.
I'm
Listen
done.
to this. Talking about the oath of Hippocrates, right? Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, the only doctor that I see, maybe others did, that practiced that in the Virgin Islands was Roy Lester Schneider. And I'm saying that not because he was from Savannah like myself, my friend before he became a doctor, and he became a scientist and a cancer specialist, and then a governor. But because this is what he did. I was one of the persons. I remember also a lady from St. Croix that needed some female work, medical, attention. She, knowing that I know Roy Lester, she asked me to go to him with her, and I went. And all when she telling me what she did, she be moaning, but me ain't got the money to pay you and this. Maybe we go get a plan. And all he telling her is, lady, shut your mouth. He went and did the operation on the lady. After she came out of the observation where her head clear now and everything. She asking him about how much. I was there, Roy. Let's tell her, lady, get up and get out. You tell me who does that today. You need an operation to save your life. They tell you, well, Mr. Dan, you got to put on 60,000, you know. The guy don't cost 6 million. I gone, doggy.
Okay, go quick before I talk. All right. You know, the other thing now with the medical is it's fantastic if you can set up your yearly medicals, and so that you're guaranteed of being able to proceed on a certain date and time. Because if you don't do it that way, when you think you need to go to the doctor, you can't get into the doctor for 3-4 months anyhow, because they're so backed up. You know, you hear about everybody going to Cleveland Clinic, or Cleveland Clinic backed up now. You got so much people going to Cleveland Clinic to get their reputation, everybody going. And that's not negative, that's just the reality. You got to plan these things. And I say, I say that, you know, partially from experience you learn. You got to plan these things as much as possible when you have to go to, especially going off island. But you don't have to be off island. I was trying to make an appointment here in the Virgin Islands, and the doctor was in the States and couldn't get here because of the storms, you know, everything else. Or in another case, they had a certain time when they don't take time off. They need to do that too. They have a family and their own mental health to deal with and everything else, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. Anyhow,
you don't need a sick doctor taking care of you.
Say, tell me about it. Anyhow,
mentally or physically.
All right. So let's go on here with the community calendar. We've been talking for months now about the CPR AED, the defibrillator, first aid training that they're having going on at the Albert A. Sheen campus for UVI on St. Croix. And I see that they have some upcoming dates. We are in May, and they're dealing with the Heart Saver today. But I know for most people today just don't work. But on June 11th, they will be doing another training session with regards to CPR, AEDs, and first aid training in general. So I'm telling you that June 11th, mark your calendar if you're interested, so you can pursue it and find out more information. Okay, and after that, then they have two dates in July and then 2 dates in August. And I'm saying that it's important that you get your training. And if you can, and you have a child that's interested and has the aptitude that you could involve them in this type of training, it's never too young to start. And anybody could be placed in a situation where they could possibly save a life. Okay? If you want to get in touch with the folks at UVI, you can give them a call at 340-692-4101. Okay? There's some other folks at UVI to talk about here too. Now, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had some family in here talking about the Thompson family reunion, a Crucian Fusion in 2025. Yeah, and that's down the road in July 9th and July 14th. But I want to mention it because early notification means higher participation usually. So July 9th to July 14th is the dates. They have all kind of interesting things planned for this Crucian Fusion. All right, good thing. So I'll be mentioning this every week when we talk, because you know, we're all very excited to host our families from near and far, and you know, it's going to be an unforgettable experience. We're going to have meet and greets, fun days, beach days, genealogy workshop, I'm dressed in a ball, family beach there, you know, and all kind of good things going on. And you know how it is. Everybody comes in, and then, hey, gone to the winds all over again for another 10, 15 years, 20 years sometimes. They got people, oh, me been back to the VI for 40 years. And I say, hey, don't do that to yourself. All right, so. And last week I did mention again the Patrick and Amelia Williams Opportunity Fund. They give out scholarships up to $4,000 each. All you have to do is be a Virgin Islands graduate and show your acceptance to an accredited institute for higher learning, and submit a 4-minute long video describing the impact of higher education on your life, and submit an essay that describes, you know, a time that that you persevered and overcame adversity. All right. So, for $4,000 to help you go to school, you might be on your second or third revision by now to get it right. Okay? That's not a whole lot to ask at all. So apply now, because it goes through June 2nd, and June is right around the corner in terms of the deadline. All right? And this is through the St. Croix Foundation. They have a number here, 340-773-9898. And I mentioned earlier before that this weekend we're having 40 Seasons of Love. All the paramours are coming out. Yes. Yeah. All right. Now, this Caribbean Community Theater, this show is called 40 Seasons of Love. It's their 40th anniversary celebration, and it's only 3 shows. That's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday and Saturday are 8 p.m. shows. The box office opens at 7, and I will tell you be there good and early and get your choice seat. And on Sunday it's at 4 p.m. Right, and it's going to be good. It's going to be a music direction by Joshua Harvey, and the show itself is directed by Michael Amaranda-Rees and Heather McRae. Yeah. Okay. And believe you me, it's going to be nice, because they're going to be doing some things, kind of like a combination of things between the various shows that have been at CCT over the years. All right. Now, I see Mercy Corps here in a conjunction with Vitima. They have Calm in the Storm, Community Disaster Preparedness Expo, right? And that's coming up this weekend, Saturday, May 24th, yes, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the University of Virgin Islands at the Great Hall here on St. Croix, yes, Albert Einstein campus, okay? Going to have a lot of various exhibitors there that would have things that you would be interested in. And it's going to have a youth zone with climate resilient STEM activities. They're going to have giveaways and a raffle. Yeah. First 150 attendees receive emergency tote bag with essentials in it. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Think I'm going to swing too.
You know? Now, I mentioned that you have the Relay for Life going on this Saturday, folks. This Saturday. Remember, no stilettos on the track. Bring the sandals and sneakers, but nothing with sharp things that can mess with the track. And they're having a wonderful setup of singers, Gerard. I bumped into one of the Fab Five yesterday and we were talking. Because, you know, they said, I thought you said you were going to be half island. Well, I was going to be back. Okay, so anyhow, a wonderful bevy of singers and events going on there at the Relay for Life. If you have never been to Relay for Life, you should go. It is a very interesting experience. Okay, now since we're talking about that and we know a Relay for Life is about the fight against cancer and finding the cure for cancer and a lot of other related things to in that struggle. All right, just want to tell you that life is such that, you know, when these folks talk about annual checks and how to do certain types of self-checks and so forth and so on, listen, for your own good, listen, all right? Because if you can help the doctor to help you, you do what you can do. Okay? He gonna bill you anyhow. Number one, but I shouldn't say it like that, because as you heard with Dr. Schneider, and I'm sure others have done things for people where it wasn't all about the money, right? But men, make sure you get your PSA test. Make sure you teach your children, your young boys, about this thing called the prostate and this simple test that could definitely help them, okay, in that context. Now, the reality is, the PSA test is one thing. The digital probe is also a helpful tool, because sometimes there are things going on that won't necessarily reflect in the PSA until it reaches a certain point that things might be detected by the digital probe. But if you don't like the digital probe thing, idea, whatever, I don't stop you from going and letting them take a little bit of blood and be able to tell if your PSA is normal, all right? And yeah, I know, it's something for everybody. I could hear somebody, no, I don't like needle.
No cough.
You know? All right. But definitely. So this weekend, it starts Saturday evening. They have T-shirts on sale and other things going on there. Definitely. People walking the track, come out and see people you haven't seen in a while. Have conversation with people, you know, whatever the case may be. But definitely it's there for you, for us. All right? Now, that same night, the 25th, okay, because Sunday, the Sunday the 25th, you have the Quelbe Gospel Concert by the 10 Sleepless Nights, and that's going to be at Island Center for the Performing Arts at 7 p.m. It's going to be good, folks. Going to be good. You like Quelbe music? Well, you know, I tell people who complain about different types of genre of music, and I say, you know, all music is good. If you go by what the Bible said, that, you know, that there's a God and a God made everything and everything was good, well, music is always good. It takes man to intervene and put things to the music that maybe shouldn't be to the music, right? Parents, when last you went and take one of the earpods from your child and stick it in your ear to see what they'll be listening to?
God.
Okay? you gotta understand music is a vessel. Whoever take control of that vessel is who gonna be able to push the message, okay? So definitely have them come out, escort them out, and come out and check out the Quelbe Gospel Concert that's going to be going on at Island Center this Sunday the 25th. 10 Sleepless Nights, doing it, folks. All right. Yeah. And I talk about this wellness walk that they have going on Saturday, but I almost skipped over it. There's a wellness walk that's going to be going on here. The Department of Health is a sponsor. And I saw the flyer, and every time I see the flyer, I have the same complaint, okay? Because they're walking, they're connecting, they're talking, and they're laughing, right? And I see 3 girls doing that.
Yeah.
Ladies. And I'm saying, where the guys? Department of Health? I complaining, you got something about the guys. You don't want the guys to come out and do the walk too?
Yeah, man, the guys, them, they're just not in the shot.
They're just not in the shot?
Yeah.
Did they hiding behind watching?
Yeah. That's the best place to be.
The best place, you would know, right?
Yeah.
Okay. that lawsuit still there in transit. They're going to show who can and can't see. Okay, all right. You go ahead.
You know what's a slap suit, right?
What's a what now?
A slap suit.
A slap suit?
Yeah.
Somebody slap somebody and they get sued?
No. When you try suing me.
Huh?
When you try to sue me and I sue you back.
Oh, okay. Well, anybody could sue. It don't mean that any gonna win. But anyhow, Department of Health, I big up on these type of things that you're doing. But I just had to get my complaint in. I don't see the guys in the poster. Put them in the poster, okay? Then girls looking like they're having too much fun. When you say they don't need us out there, you don't want us out there?
Me want to see the guys there.
You're biased.
No.
Okay, some people would say that.
Hey, straight.
Okay. All right. And, in June, we have the 55th anniversary gala, 10 Sleepless Nights, going to be going on. So just mention that's down the road. Also coming in June, you got the Pate Festival at the Agricultural Fairgrounds coming up. And then in July, you have the Mango Melee coming up on July 13th. Good thing. Lots of things to do here on St. Croix, folks. Lots of things to do. So mark your calendar. Make sure that you can check these things out. All right?
I need to get in touch with them guys to see if I could be a judge this year.
Okay, I hear you. That's the way to do it, brother. Okay? Now, let me see if I could find this other one here, because I'm making all of my announcements and I don't want to leave out any. Okay, so I got one.
Do you
here.
or someone you know have combined hearing and vision loss? I Can Connect is a national program that provides free training and communication equipment, including smartphones and computers, to individuals with significant combined hearing and vision loss who meet income guidelines. Call 340-692-4267. That's 340-692-4267 to learn more about the program's guidelines, refer someone you know, or to apply for the program. Do you or someone you know have combined hearing and vision loss? I Can Connect is a national program that provides free training and communication equipment, including smartphones and computers, to individuals with significant combined hearing and vision loss who meet income guidelines. Call 340-692-4267. That's 340-692-4267 to learn more about the program's guidelines, refer someone you know, or to apply for the program.
Gerald, could you expound on that a little bit? Who you calling?
You calling Miss Williams. You calling Miss Williams. She's the the coordinator for that program here at VIU. Said you get in contact with her. She'll let you know where you go to see the audiologist, and bring in your paperwork you take the application to what do you call those, ophthalmologists. It's a federal program, so you need to have a doctor sign off on the fact that you are actually hearing impaired and visually impaired.
Okay, so I could just show up there and tell them my mother said I had a hearing and I don't see I got dishes to wash and they're going to give me a free iPhone?
No. You have to be medically cleared.
Medically cleared. Well,
Yes.
My mother is a nurse.
Yeah, but they ain't taking her word for it.
Okay.
They ain't taking her word for it at all. I mean, before we could have decided for you at the office whether or not you qualify. But now you have to actually go the extra step
Get the screening.
and get the proper screening by ophthalmologist and audiologist.
All right. I got that walker there in my yard. And every time I see it, I think about you guys too, because there's something else that you guys at VIU said do.
Yes, we have our DME closet, which we call a durable medical equipment closet, which we call it our reuse program. So what we have in this closet is we have walkers, canes, and wheelchairs that we will lend you for a period of about 30 days or more, depending on how long you need it for. Like just in case you freshly get out of the hospital and need one of these equipment, you can come by and we will give you a loan until your insurance kicks in and get you your own. And then once you get your own, you bring it back and we would sanitize it and wait for the next person to come in that needs one. And we also take in equipment as well. So if you have a loved one that's no longer here or no longer need the equipment, and the equipment is in good condition, you can drop it off and we will take it and put it in our closet, our DME closet, so that it can be reused by someone else. We try to have equipment to give you that's dignified. We want you to use these things with dignity. So we don't want any, pardon my expression, we don't take any junk. So if it's no good, don't bring it. If it's good and can be reused, you can bring it to us, we can sanitize it, and it'll be through the door before you know it.
And please, don't put useful equipment like that in the dump. Okay? Somebody out there needs it. If while my father lived here, when he needed a special bed, he had a special bed. But at the time that they went up to the States and got settled up there and everything else, because of the medical care issues that were better addressed in that situation, we had a bed doing nothing, which ultimately somebody who had a need, it was transferred to them. And so keep in mind, folks, medical equipment ain't cheap. Okay?
Right. It's not cheap, and there's always a need for it somewhere.
It's one of these days, hopefully maybe we can get someone we could talk with about prosthetics. And that when it comes to prosthetics and
there's a guy, I think he works for the urgent care, I think it is, where he measures and he fits people for various prosthetics.
Right.
I'm gonna talk to my boss because I think she knows who he is, and see if I can get in touch with him and see if he can come on air and speak to us about it.
Yeah, because not only that, but it's interesting the cost for prosthetics.
Oh,
Man, that's something.
What threw me for a spin? When I heard how much hearing aids cost.
Yes.
Like you're talking like $3,000 or $4,000.
Yes. But actually, there's a push against that in terms of bringing the cost down, because in some ways that it's been an industry.
Yeah.
They're just making their money.
They don't want you to hear what's going on. That's what happened.
Right. Okay.
We have a call online too.
Yes, going to them right now. WSTX.
Yeah, Dougie, since you and Evelyn getting ready to close up the shop and go on the beach, I say, well, let me just take this time to thank all the parents, the teachers, the administration, and the schools, and the graduates and promotees who have fought against immeasurable odds, particularly the Virgin Islands sand falling down, chopping them up, mauling the school, giving them cancer, no bathroom, they're going to go outside of the hospital and all this kind of foolishness. But thank God, God made a way, and they have now moving on to the next stage in their life. Myself, if you see my chest now, it's swell because I'm heading to Houston and then to Tennessee to attend graduations of one granddaughter that's going on to law school and my fourth great-granddaughter that's going on to med school, for which I give all thanks and praise to the Most High for giving me the guidance to instruct them and anyone else that had anything to do with it, and also for the dummy that I'm able to pitch in to help them. Graduates, you have done it. Keep your head high. Keep moving and don't study none of them with the foolishness, but come back to look for what? When they got all the jobs sold up for the friends, the grandfriends, 3, 4, 5 year friends, and you come back and they want to get you better, stay up there and make tons of dollars. I got.
All right. Well,
Hey, Mr. Nibs.
I guess that's his random act.
Mr. Nibs. Mr. Nibs.
Yeah, listen.
Mr. Nibs.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You know, you frighten me when you tell me your chest swell. And you say you're going up to Texas and then please there. I say, oh, you're going for an operation?
Oh, well, I know. But I am so overjoyed. I hope the heart don't bust.
All right. Anyhow, we gotta run. We gotta run.
Okay,
Hey, the
bye.
marshal in the house, so we got
Yes, sir. You're going up to Texas and then please there. I say, oh, you're going for an operation?
All right. All right. Well, you enjoy your day and weekend and everything. All right.
You too.
And you know what's going on St. Croix, so don't hesitate to fly in and check out some of our events.
I would do that if I can.
All right. Good thing. All right. Take care. Yes, folks. WSTX AM 970 Reflections. It's that time. I just want to let you know that, hey, we are here. And I don't know why this graduate calling me, but he calling me, so I know what that's all about. But anyhow, any old how. It's one of those things. So we gotta head out of here. Make sure you do your random act of kindness, and if you're feeling kind of bored or otherwise, even lonely or anything, go out and do some premeditated acts of kindness. Please.
Or if you're just like me, do a random act.
Hey, don't mind here, okay? Keep the kindness in it. All right? Folks, love's in need of love every day, so share it.
When we're not talking, you'll hear all your favorite songs, including calypso, jazz, love song, gospel, and those country legends, giving you more music variety. This is AM 970 WSTX.
Attention St. Croix, Alma's Natural Products has a new home inside the Frederickstead Mall. Visit us at 3B on the right-hand side, just as you walk in. Enjoy the same great products you love, now in a better location with air conditioning. Experience Alma's touch of African products, including clothing, bags, handmade hats, body oils, essential oils, raw shea and cocoa butter, natural toothpaste and deodorant, incense sticks, black soap, vegetable-based soaps, spices, cocoa sticks, bulk herbs, and sea moss. Stop in for a cold drink and cool off while browsing Alma's Natural Products. Leave with a bag full of healthy goodness for the whole family. Hours and phone number remain the same. Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Sundays, 12 noon to 5 p.m. Closed on Saturdays. Call us at 340-332-3557. That's 340-332-3557. Come visit Alma's Natural Products' new location at 3B in the Frederickstead Mall.
Are you looking for the best Mediterranean food on St. Croix? Check out Flavor Fusion, the yellow and red shack by the Tide Village gas station. Come sit me or call and pick up your